Hello everyone, I'm Mike Feldberger, and it's time for a July 23rd race recap from Wingless Wednesday at Shellhammer Dirt Track, the little track by the river, located right off of Route 61, just north of Leesport, Pennsylvania, celebrating their 50th anniversary under Courtier Family Promotions. 7 divisions on the card last night. Beautiful night for racing. And we will give you a brief recap of the racing action seen at the little track by the river. First up, Stage 1 Modifieds. They led off the A-Mains and had their 20-lapper feature going non-stop in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Tyler Hoke took command at the drop of the green and was never headed, but the battle behind him was quite spirited, with Brett Smith, Jake Moyer, and Darian Daniluk. Darian in the S1, the show car or the actual house car for Richie Smith in the Stage 1 Modifieds. Darian Daniluk behind the wheel, being joined by Dylan Hoke in the mid stages of the race, but Tyler got the win with Smith second, Daniluk third, and Dylan Hoke getting by Jake Moyer for the 4th spot late in the race, with Jake holding on for 5th. 600 Micros saw Matt McAnally take the top spot heading into turn 1, with Trevor Kobolars shadowing his every move but couldn't get by him. He was still hot in pursuit. Behind the leading pair, it was a virtual scramble for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Andrew and Brevin Rothamel was joined by Rocky Johnson Sr. and Luke McCloskey, with Easton Miller waiting in the shadows. Easton getting a good view of all the racing action in front of him, wanting to join the top 5. The top 2 were locked in as the run for 3rd finally got settled on lap 14, with Rocky Johnson solidly getting the spot in the 42. McCloskey and Miller both got by the Rothamels for 4th and 5th. As the checker was being thrown, McAnally took his second 600 micro win of the season. The young Slingshots put on quite an incredible show, with Joey Denisi showing the way, with Haley Bernatowski and Aubrey Romig right behind. But once things settled down, they had a couple of yellow flags and race slowdowns, I should say, in the first 4 laps. But from lap 4 through lap 16, the racing went non-stop, with Bernatowski getting by Denisi on lap 8 with a nice turn 2 pass, with Aubrey Romig also getting by Denisi as well, sliding in for 2nd. In the mix now was Brody and Braden Bednar, with Barry Seaman on the move after being involved in an early race tangle. 55B was on rails after having to go to the rear, being involved in an early race tangle. Brody Bednar actually slowed the number 2 down on lap 16. That set up the run to the checker. Bernatowski took the win, with Barry Seaman making a last corner pass on Aubrey Romig, coming down for the checker to get the 2nd spot. Romig was 3rd, followed by Cheyenne Snodderly, who passed 3 cars in the last 2 laps. Good run for Cheyenne to get 4th, with Braden Bednar holding on and sliding in for 5th. Some great running in the junior Slingshots at Shellhammers on Wednesday night. 125 Micro 20-lapper had Blair Leiby setting the pace for the first 4 laps, as Easton Miller passed Blair on lap 4 and warded off all challenges by Leiby, Steve Simmons, and Seth Gregory to get the win. Gregory took the runner-up spot as he narrowly held on to get the 2nd spot over Leiby, with Simmons getting 4th and Dylan Yinkst coming on strong in the late stages of the race to get 5th. Miller had a heck of a lead coming to the late stages of the race. He had like a 5-car length lead, and Gregory just narrowed that lead, and he took the 2nd spot. He got 2nd spot by less than a second. So Gregory was strong in the later stages of the 125 race, but didn't have enough to get by the winner, Easton Miller. Not to be outdone by their younger counterparts, the All-Star Slingshots. 20 laps, 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Fantastic racing for the All-Star Slingshots, with Zach Gerber and Haley Ero locked into a torrid battle with Darian Daniluk, Lucas Pittenger, Lindsey Garl, and Wyatt Tassler right behind. This was a lot of group racing, some clean racing as well from the all-star slingshots. Hero got to the left rear of Gerber on lap 17, but didn't have enough to get by. Zach held firm to get the win. Hero had a late race challenge from Darian Daniluk, but she also held on to get second place money. With Daniluk third, the three-car battle for fourth was settled on lap 19 as Pittenger got third with Colton Williams on the move, passing both Tassler and Garl to get fourth. And a hard-fought battle for fifth with some strong running there with Colton Williams getting the fifth spot. Pittenger was fourth. Lindsey Garl was sixth. Wyatt Tassler finished seventh. And Nolan Lacer was in the Thunberg 12 Junior, getting the eighth spot. A lot of passing in this non-stop thriller for the all-star slingshots. It was Golden Hammer night for the junior sprints. They were supposed to have their night a couple weeks ago, but they had speed weeks for the junior sprints in the area. So we made their Golden Hammer night last night, July the 23rd. Andrew Ferriola and Jay Smith were setting a blistering pace with Carter Green, Lucas Ferriola, and Barrett Bressler joining the front-running pair. Jace got by Andrew on lap 12 and was not to be denied the win. He led the remaining 18 laps to get the win over Andrew. Lucas Ferriola pulled off on lap 23, causing a caution on lap 23. Lucas was actually running in the top 5 when mechanical issues beset his junior sprint. That slotted Bressler, Green, and Casey Mertz in for the remaining top 5 positions. So the junior sprint win going to Jay Smith last night at Shellhammer's. Well, after multiple yellows before 3 laps were completed, in fact, I believe there was 3 yellows before we even got 1 lap completed, and that's quite unusual for the 270 micros. Chase Ziegenfuss and Dylan Caronia had a battle between themselves with an all-out 3-car war behind them. Jarrett Imler, Chris Dolan, and Matt McAnally swapped 3, 4, and 5 spots a couple times leading up to the checker, with McAnally moving into third over Imler, but ran out of laps to catch both the front-running pair of Ziegenfuss and Caronia. Towards the end, though, it really got close at the end there. Ziegenfuss's 5-car advantage disintegrated with 2 to go, but held on to get the win by just 0.31 seconds over Caronia. McAnally was third with Imler fourth, and rounding out the top 5 was Chris Dolan. Chris Marafino had a good showing of 6th in the 22M. So some fantastic racing at Shellhammer Dirt Track last night. The final checker was thrown at 9:32. The final payout was awarded at 9:55. Everybody was on their way home by 10 o'clock. So I hope to see everybody back at Shellhammer's on Wednesday night, July 30th, for another Wingless Wednesday night of racing for the 7 divisions, the 600 micros, 270 micros, 125 micros, all-star slingshots, junior slingshots, stage 1 modifieds, and the junior sprints. Hope everybody has a safe and happy week, and see you back at Shellhammer's on Wednesday night, July the 30th.